Hi, this is Ryan again with another video for data and assessment. Really excited to be making these videos because I believe they'll help you be more successful when it comes to making these projects that we do. So this is Module 4. Module 4 is your second project, and this one deals with demographics. Like with your last discussion board, we're talking about the demographics measure that Bernhard described. So in this one, this is going to be a project. So again, you need to think of these projects as real-life applications, things you might actually do in your school. I gave you a scenario with the superintendent asking you to make a presentation to the board and develop a infographic. Well, it doesn't have to be that. It could be that you're a assistant principal and your principal wants you to make a presentation to your staff. It could be that you're a new principal in a building and you want to learn about your building and you want to be able to share information about your building with your staff and help them understand who your students are. So that's kind of what this module is about. So let's take a look at Module 4. Pull it up here. And then I'm going to expand it. And again, you should do this. You should expand it, print it, and write on it as you do this. So as you may recall, demographics. Those are things like student enrollment. It could be attendance, it could be grade level, it could be ethnicity or race, it could be socioeconomic status or poverty level. It could be at risk factors. I know some of you in your modules talk about at risk factors. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. We're working to identify that for both academics and behavior. So all these things are demographics. It could also be kids who are new to your district. It could be chronically absent kids. It could be kids you took Algebra 1 versus kids you took geometry as a freshman. There's almost endless number of demographics you can look at. And that's kind of what this module is about. If you read this little rationale here, Bernhard described what demographics are. And there are also things that we have little to no control over. We really can't control the poverty level of our students at our school. Sure, we can work with the community and try to get more jobs or high-paying jobs, but really, our students are who they are. We can't change their ethnicity. We, most of the time, can't change their poverty level. We can't change the educational level of their parents. So all these things are pretty much out of our control. We have little to no control over these things. So like I mentioned, this is an application. I'm wanting you to make an infographic, and this is the one pager. Really don't make it long. It should be something that's quick. It should be something that can be a quick read. It could be something that shares information about your school. So I give you some information about how to make an infographic. I just give you a scenario, and again, this is just one. It could be many different scenarios. And also remember, I've talked about this before, but this is really about making those real-life applications. In an interview, you could be asked, how do you share data with your stakeholders? This is something you could talk about. You could talk about an infographic that you made and how you might want to share it and give it to people. So as you make it, we're working on demographic data. Now, with demographic data, we've been talking about different data measures. We talked about the connection or the overlap of them. So if you choose in this project to do some assessment data, for example, make sure that you just don't include demographic data, assessment data for all of your kids. If you do this, which again, I don't recommend you do any assessment data, you just keep it all demographics. We used to call this a profile data. When we used to make school improvement plans, it used to be called a profile. It's about it's who your school is. Who are your students? But anyway, if you do choose to include some sort of assessment data, make sure that it's broken down into ethnic groups. Just don't put all students on there. You need to break it down. So really, I recommend that you just kind of stick to who are your students, break it down, make sure that you have enough covered to meet the requirements of the rubric. So that's kind of what this talks about here. Again, a lot of people include assessment data in this module for some reason. I don't know why, but if you do, make sure it's disaggregated. It's broken down. If you choose to look at that, make sure it's broken down by something. And I'd go beyond males and females. Go on and dig deeper into it and do some other things beyond that. But anyway, so after you do that, and you're going to, in the comment box, you're going to add 3 things you were thinking. So as you're making this, hopefully some things are generating in your mind. What were you thinking about? And then also, as you make this presentation to either your Board of Education, like I asked you to, or to a teacher group, there's going to be questions. And whenever you do this, you should really try to anticipate what those kind of questions are. So try to think about that a little bit. Now, as far as making this demographic or this infographic, there's a number of things you can do. You can use Canva, you can use Picto or Venngage. You can even just use a Google Doc and actually make a infographic right on it. Now, with some of these, you're going to have a little bit of trouble because they say it's free, but you're going to be able to make it and then you can't export it. So it's real easy just to make it in Venngage, for example, and just do a screenshot and then paste that screenshot into a Google Doc and share it. I wouldn't get crazy. Again, I recommend that you use a screen capture or clipper tool to copy your infographic and then paste it in Google Doc. That's real easy. So don't pay for anything. You shouldn't have to go get a subscription. So just either use one of these tools and do a copy and paste or a screenshot and paste it and then share it with the class. And make sure you share the link with everybody at Fort Hays so we all can view it. And then we go back to our standard correlation. Again, I hope those of you got some feedback. Read what I said about this standard piece and try to do a little better. To make the module as best as you can. So, again, this is Ryan, and remember, I'm here for you. If you have questions, please email me, let me know, and we'll talk through things. I'll provide you with some clarity. So, talk to you later. Bye.